fantasy racism versus actual racism.
Well, speaking as someone who considers themselves a full-time internet racist, like ourselves. No.
Jokes.
Yeah, of course. But no.
Just a part-time bigot.
Yeah. No, I've got I got an NVQ in sexism, by the way, guys. It's the highest I get. You know what? Someday I will get my degree. I will become Dr. Racist. It's like Dr. Doom, but like, like, I don't know. Anyway, look, so I think this topic always comes up all the time, and I see it in a lot of, it's particularly prevalent, I think, in a lot of RPG horror stories and stuff like that. Oh, these people were being racist, and they were mean, and they were nasty. And it's like, look, the way I look at it is, first of all, it's a bit of a flaw within the alignment chart. Let's be serious.
My chair's so squeaky.
Yeah, extra squeak today. Yeah. You know, where the whole problem, you do have evil races, and therefore if you have evil races, then, you know, and again, look, it all depends on setting. I'm not even going to bother talking about that yet. Don't worry, we'll get there on my 10-point PowerPoint. No. Okay, look, this is going to be a loopy one. Look, okay, you know what? Look, just read the post. Let's see what we're getting into.
Weird question, but have you ever made the racist on the right side of the... Have you ever made the racist on the right side of the argument?
My paladin every time.
From my perspective, there are naturally evil races who are just irredeemable from birth. No matter how hard you try, they're just all pieces of shit. The taint of evil is too deep. Even if they pretend to be properly socialised, they're just waiting for a good chance to go for your throat. When my PCs found an orc baby and handed it over to the good church, as if the church doesn't have anything better to do, they found that the kindly old priest quietly drowned the baby in the spring behind the church, as was traditional. Similarly, I like the idea that there are usually non-PC races that are inherently superior to everyone around them, since it gives the fantasy world more verisimilitude.
Big words, some of that, guys.
It's usually elves, but something like ASMR also fit the bill anyway.
Well, I suppose an obvious one to that would probably be like beholders and whatnot, but again, beholders are always wrapped up in their own arrogance.
Yeah.
It's their own
but
downfall.
that's the same with elves as well. They're always wrapped up in their own arrogance.
And that's their downfall. You know, they think they know everything.
Yeah.
And unadaptable and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
I was actually talking to my friend about this a wee while back, and we were talking about morals and stuff like this, and his argument was, can a baby be born evil? No. Can someone be born evil? And I think he was right with that. I don't think you can be born.
No, it's all in the if you. Well,
it's all.
If you look at like the psychology of like serial killers and stuff like that, most of them, if not all of them, have been brought up with either
some form of abuse. Abuse,
whether it be sexually, physically, whatever. As a child, their parents aren't very good people, and it's all in the crux of being, apparently that's in like the PowerPoint description of being a serial killer, that you know, you get abused and your parents are bad people.
Yeah, pretty much. But I thought that was a really good argument.
A lot of people get abused, and a lot of people have bad upbringing and bad parents and out of foster care, and they're not serial killers.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's where the point flips.
Yeah, that's very true.
Well, if that's the crux of being a serial killer or a bad person, why doesn't it happen to everybody that happens?
Well, that's a good point, actually. Yeah, I like that. So, will we get into the thread and see how bad this goes? We're going to get into... Well, look, I don't think we're going to get... Look, you guys get what we're on.
No, I'm not going to get into trouble.
No, but the thing, like, the only people we're going to get into trouble with are, like, unironic Twitter users.
POCs.
No, I'm cutting that.
I know. I know, cut that.
Jesus, like, let's just get into the thread.
The problem is that once you make the claim, you then have to justify it in a way that doesn't sound conventionally subjective. There's already tremendous in-character incentive for people to claim that orcs or whatever are naturally evil. But guess what? Pretty much every human culture has said that about their neighbours throughout history. And it's always just tribal bullshit. You can't just say that this time they're right. There needs to be something concrete, a fundamental and consistent difference between them and humans that back this up. People are willing to accept without question that monsters like dragons are evil, because dragons don't need civilization to function. They can afford to be greedy monsters that see humans as nothing but prey. For something like orcs, Even if their civilization is less advanced than yours, the fact that they make their own tools, armour and assemble into armies with a chain of command means that they are clearly intelligent beings. Intelligent beings that have a language and can speak common. Therefore, diplomacy, by all reasonable metrics, should be possible. If you want to claim that for some reason it's not, you have to explain why. They can't be trusted. They will just attack us eventually. Is not good enough. Because that
We've already started recording today.
Because that applies equally well to humans. We do that shit all the time, and we do it to ourselves.
Alright, you know what? I'll use a really good example. I feel like... Oh, by the way, as soon as we're talking about orcs, I don't know why it's always orcs. People always use orcs. Why do they always use orcs for these? But like, let's just go with this. So, just so you know, on the website we've got some Mongolian-inspired orcs. Very cool. Just put that out there. Just something to check out because you can do some Mongolian flute singing. But anyway, back on that. Whenever like you think of like the Roman barbarians, let's use the band of barbarians, the Huns, the Mongols, the Scythians, Parthians, any form of like steppe nomadic peoples, or even like we could even maybe use the sea people. Yeah. You know, a lot of the time these tribal peoples now.
Sorry, I have a question.
What?
The fuck were the sea people?
The sea people were the people that brought about the end of the Bronze Age. A lot of people believe that they might actually be the origins of the Palestinians, because there's a word that the Egyptians used for the sea people, and it sounds an awful lot like Philistine. It's in that bracket, so it kind of sounds like that. But I'm talking like 3000 BC. You know what I mean? So anyway, like
I'm stupid.
Like back on point. What I'm trying to say is tribal peoples have a big edge against more civilized societies throughout all of human history up until we really got firearms. The reason being, they have a much harder, tougher existence. Yeah. They live closer to nature, and whether we like it or not, maybe civilization makes us soft. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Hunters
let's be serious.
They're
gonna have that edge. However, why did they always expand outwards? What was the causes of this? A lot of people believe, like, you know, again, from the steppe, a lot of the time people put it down to the idea of there was a reason to be. Maybe there was a disease. Maybe there was stronger tribes in the interior pushing the weaker tribes out, you know, or maybe the Chinese were doing this forever. Don't let them unify. Whatever you do, just pay them off, make them fight each other. Just never ever let these tribes unify. Otherwise, they're going to come for us. You know what I mean? So keep them squabbling, keep them fighting each other, and keep them occupied. And that's all you got to do. And you don't need to fight a war ever. You can pay them off with stuff. Yeah. And again, that's a lot of the time they did do that. If they didn't want to fight, it's like here's some stuff, and eventually they just become vassals. And again, this is one of the things that I find really boring about Chinese history. Oh, the northern barbarians have took over again.
No.
Oh no! Like, honest to God, how many, like, throughout all of Chinese history, how many Chinese emperors have actually been Chinese? It's kind of hard to judge. Yeah. But again, that's a different topic altogether. Yeah. But what I'm really trying to get at is these people are pushed into situations where they have to a lot of the time. But again, they didn't have to, because one of the commandments within the book of, what was it, The Secret Life of the Mongols, the whole reason for doing it was to get the stuff. They couldn't make stuff in the steppe. There's not enough resources. There's nothing there. Yeah. And you're living like beside China, which is the richest civilization the world's ever seen throughout thousands of years. Yeah. Are you telling me you're not going to be tempted to
try and go in and
take their stuff?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think this is kind of off topic, but again, it kind of leans back more into the reason behind why they're acting. To us, they seem like barbarians, they seem evil, but to them, they're trying to...
As orcs, to them, they're trying to survive.
Yeah, they're trying to survive. And again, this is one of the other things the Mongols would do. They were so brutal, and they didn't consider other humans as really humans a lot of the time.
And same with orcs. They're so war hungry.
They don't see humans in the same light they would see other orcs. Do you think an orc could be kind to you as fellow orc? I think they could. Yeah. But they see you as different. Like, you know, the
beneath.
A lot of the times the Mongols would compare the Chinese as like cattle to them. That's the way they viewed them. That was their mindset. Yeah. And again, same thing went for the Romans. The Romans, whenever you hear like a lot of their descriptions about the Huns, a lot of the time you would see them like, and it's like they thought of them as like aliens. But whenever you really get into it, Huns looked really weird. They would elongate their skulls. You know, they would do all the head binding. They would scar up their face so they wouldn't grow beard, but it would give them this really demonic look. Yeah. And then they would they had bowed legs because they were on a horse all the
Horse all
time.
the time, yeah.
So they were even had this
completely different to what, like, let's say Romans.
Yeah, they had this weird walk. To the Romans, they may as well have been aliens.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think that's really what it comes down to as well. Like,
just
what's the whole thing? I heard a horrible one the other day. Apparently, the perfect genetic match is like your third cousin, because it's close enough to still be within your like family clan, but you're never going to get
far enough away to not be inbred.
Yeah, which I was like, oh sweet Jesus,
my Lord.
no, I don't want to know. I don't want to know that fact. Thank you very much. I was very happy not
like
knowing
I know
that.
we're from Ireland and all, but like Jesus.
Yeah. I thought that one was interesting. But like, what do you guys think? What's your views on this? Let's keep going. Let's see if there's anything more interesting. But I think the only way to really view this is through it. I know it's kind of the bullshit way out, but viewing it from a more historical lens is the only way. We don't have other humans. We don't have Neanderthals. We don't have Denisovans.
Yeah, we don't have other like species to be able to compare.
Yeah,
you know. Yes, we have other races, but like
it's not really the same.
It's not the same.
It's not
genetically.
It's
like
it's not like we got Neanderthals. Neanderthals are quite different from humans, but you can still interbreed with them. Fun fact: Megan's actually got a very high percentage
of Neanderthal.
Also, I heard this.
Can you not tell?
Also, I heard this incredible. Like, apparently, this is one of those facts. Judging from Neanderthal like bone density and stuff. Apparently, so for a Neanderthal male, you should be able to bench press over 230 kilos, which again, I'm not going to convert that into pounds because I don't know it. But, and apparently for Neanderthal women would be 150 kilos.
I can do that. Watch me.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you know this, but we've got a website with lots of models. And whenever I say lots of models, I mean lots of models. We've got models for any setting that you can think of. With humans with biddies, animals that shouldn't have biddies but do have biddies, dwarves and elves with biddies. Look, we've got a lot of smut models. But it doesn't stop there. We really do have models for anything and everything. And to be honest, they look so good. Chef's kiss, so good. But it's not all smut for all you good Christian Minecraft server players. We've got you covered. And we even got the weebs covered too, which is unusual for this channel because we don't like weebs.
The weebs aren't that bad, okay? They're just fun to laugh at.
We also have 5th edition subclasses and adventures, which some of them are free for download, and we sell a physical printed copy of Steel Water as well, and you can request a signed version if that's your thing, where I'll draw a penis on it for you.
If you want us to sign a couple of decks, we'll give you decks, okay, guys? That's what you want.
Anyway, if you enjoy what we do here, go ahead and check out the website. It helps us out so much, and we don't need to worry about our YouTube overlord striking down another one of our channels. Our website is also now available as an app on Android. Also, and the winner of the daily giveaway is this guy! Yay! Woo!
Look, anyway, in for a chance to win, all you gotta do is like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, automatically entered in.
And to claim the prize, you just send an email to neckbeardiacontact@gmail.com. Let's get back to the video. A good example, by the way, are the demons from Beyond Journey's End. Demons start off looking like people, and the longer they live, the stronger they get, and the more monstrous looking they tend to become. But the important thing is that introduced to the audience very quickly, and is a rule that is never broken, is that demons are not people. They are the
alpha predators.
What way did they
That's a weird way to spell alpha.
They are the alpha predator to humans.
Oh, that's kind of what we were going for with the whole Mongol thing, almost.
And they look like people specifically to take advantage of humans' trust and empathy as a means of killing us when we let down our guard. They are psychologically incapable of empathy themselves, or even malice. They don't kill us because they hate us, or for any rational reason. They kill us for the same reason that a cat pounces on a mouse, even when it isn't hungry. It's pure instinct, and it cannot be reasoned with.
Cats do that for fun, though.
It
is instinct to go along, but they still get mass enjoyment from it.
Attempting to engage a demon in conversation is just giving it an opening to use all of its natural skills at social manipulation to kill you more easily. Perhaps even making you think that you have tamed it or become friends with it for days, weeks, months, until it springs its trap. We see humans trust demons and pay the price. And, more importantly, we see demons honestly try to understand humans and feel, and end up killing them anyway. Their mentality is utterly alien, and whether it's portrayed as moral or tragic, there really is no option when dealing with a demon but to immediately fight it to the death.
I think I get what he's going for.
I get it.
I think I do. I get the picture. I think one of the keys, I think, to all this is the lack of communication, maybe. Is it lack of communication at the key to all this? Like, they're not being able to understand one another, being so different that they may as well be alien. That an elf that lives for 1,000 years sees a human, even in their 80s, as a child.
No, I wouldn't say that. No.
Why? What would your...
Because if you look at in, like, modern day...
Yeah.
Like, we can still understand people. Like, look at Northern Ireland.
Ah, well, that'll be a good one. Do you want to talk about Northern Ireland?
You know, like... Not that we can't communicate, like, we're exactly the same in Northern Ireland, like, we're people we're white, like,
white European
Christians, but once, like, one side hates the other and the other side hates the other, you know.
It's too much bad blood. It's went on for so long. It's
that side's evil, no, your side's evil, no, you're evil.
I think one of the core things is, again, a lot of people forget in a lot of, like, fantasy settings is, okay, Northern Ireland, let's use it as a good example. Northern Ireland's a very small country, and throughout the Troubles, only, like 3,000 people died? Mm-hmm. Like, in total, which is absolutely...
But 3,000 people to Northern Ireland may be like 300,000.
Yeah, does that make sense? Like, if we were to do this to Americans, it's a much higher percentage.
Yeah.
And therefore, you're going to know people that something happened to.
Something happened to...
That was involved. Like, here, there's a video share of your mum.
Yeah.
On thingy, what they blew up?
They blew up Woolworths, and you can see her at the bottom. They got evacuated out the back. They got the phone call and said there's a bomb in the shop, and they just got out the back when the car went off. It was a car bomb. It was parked out the front, and the car went off, and the bonnet
went over the top of the building
and landed like 4 feet away from my mum.
Yeah, which is kind of mad when you think about that, you know. So it has affected everyone, you know what I mean? And therefore, so say you live in a very small, tight-knit community and the goblins attack, even like 100 years ago, you're going to have stories
about... You call them Catholic goblins?
Maybe.
You're a Catholic?
Yeah, here, I identify as a goblin, okay? You know? No, but you guys get what I'm trying to say. Even after like 100 years, you're going to have people have stories of like, oh, these horrible, nasty people that live over the hill, and they did this and they did that, and you know, you're going to have that continuing time and time again, and you're never going to be able to really escape from that.
Yeah.
You know, and again, that's because, and this is the biggest problem I've got, is how can you incorporate this and not automatically be judged by West Coast American liberal types being like, oh, that's hyper. It's like, I don't know, I see this stuff every day, to be honest with you. Don't get me wrong, Northern Ireland is nowhere near what it used to be. However, to say that
it's gone is
a lie. Like, you know, to say
peace treaty who?
To say that the world is a different place.
Yeah.
Is a lie.
No, because we all still live in it. We still live in that.
We live in the echoes of it.
We live in the echoes of it. Yes, it's only a small handful of people within certain communities who are still at it.
Yeah.
But it's still very, very prevalent.
It is.
You know, very prevalent. Like, there's still a chance that any one of us could to get took out to the backfield and get your knees done in.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, any one of you.
Yeah. So,
if you have a house party in the wrong place, they're going to come knocking at your door.
Exactly. And that it happens all the time. So... where can I really go? Megan. Megan's wearing sunglasses now. She's wearing the child sunglasses.
And there's dinosaurs all over.
They're very cute. I'll have you know. But look, what I'm trying to say is, it's hard to explain to an American because I feel like Americans live in a very diverse society compared to the rest of the world, generally speaking.
Yeah.
And especially somewhere in Northern Ireland where it's so in your face, I feel like it's something that cannot be avoided within reason. It's something,
and like, there's flags everywhere.
Oh yeah, everywhere.
The curbs are painted red, white, and blue in Protestant areas,
and they're painted
or green, white, and gold in other areas.
And
like,
they've got the flags up, and then you go somewhere, and suddenly all the signposts turn Irish.
Yeah.
You know, it's
all the street names turn Irish. Whenever you're in a Catholic area,
it's very in your face. And to say that, and again, look, if people have been affected by these instance, can you blame them for having these views.
No, absolutely not.
This is the biggest problem I've got. Is
that's the thing. Like,
part of me,
even people in England all look on. It's like, why are they still doing it? It's because we live here.
Yeah.
We're like, it happened not that long ago.
And the biggest one is as well. How did we end it all? How did it come to a close?
And all of our politics are still the same.
So
it's all still Catholic and Protestant. So and people who are Protestant vote for the Protestant parties. Yeah. People who are Catholic vote for the Catholic parties.
And you don't have a choice.
You don't have a choice. Like, that's it. Like,
there's no one
my friend, she's very in for voting.
Yeah.
She's really in for voting, making your choice and all this. And she has to go at me because I don't vote. And I was like, what is the actual point?
Yeah, I feel like
for the first time, Sinn Féin, the Catholic Party, took the First Minister's seat in Stormont.
Yeah.
And they're still not working. They're still not working because the Protestants don't want to work with the Catholics.
Yeah, it's still going to go on. So what I'm trying to get to is, for me personally, see, whenever I come across people that are extremely sectarian, generally speaking, they've actually got a pretty fair reason to be sectarian. You know, if something happened to your loved one of your loved ones, would you have a negative view on these people? Do you know what I mean? Like, and I'm not saying like people overall.
I'm not saying like it justifies
I'm not saying
them
it justifies,
being sectarian or and vice versa,
but
like
you
them
can
being
understand
racist or whatever.
You can completely get behind. You can completely see their worldview, though. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people.
I can understand why, but it still doesn't make it right.
Yeah, that's. I think that's what I'm really trying to get at. And
I understand your trauma.
Yeah.
But your trauma is not welcome in this space.
Yeah. Yeah. All I'm gonna say is the second, like, you know, you start planting bombs to kill, like, essentially women and children. Yeah, your views aren't great, man. Not gonna lie.
And
like,
James is the Catholic.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't think anyone could support them. And again, that doesn't mean that Catholics were treated horribly.
Yeah, Catholics
really
were treated
extremely badly here. You know, there's no denying that. But there's
once again, it's not all Catholics and it's not all Protestants.
It's more of a class thing.
It's a small handful.
But again, it's more of a class thing, I think, of when it comes to this. It's only really in poor areas in estates, because paramilitaries in this day and age act more like organised crime with drugs and everything else.
Yeah, paramilitaries still get a seat in
Yes.
Stormont.
And they're still protected by the police. Oh, you know what? Let's
No, I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
One of the biggest terrorists is Jerry Adams, and he was First Minister of the Sinn Féin party.
Yeah.
He killed. He was out killing people, he denied it all, even though there were videos of him doing it, and he was still sitting.
And don't get me wrong, there's tons of Protestant ones as well.
See him? I know.
Like, there's the amount of politicians that we have that
Martin McGuinness.
the amount of politicians we've had that have literally killed people. You would honestly,
and just would go, I don't know what you're talking about. I've heard none of this. Well, that's it. Swept under the rug. That's fine.
And
all right, Jerry.
Right. So what I want to do is I'll wrap up here and try and give you a bit more understanding for people.
I don't know what this video is again. These videos are just talking at this point.
Look, I'll try and finish up. Now, one of the big things for me, and I think it had to be done, but the way they did it is shocking, and I don't think it helped anyone, but it did work, kind of. The Good Friday Agreement, the idea was anyone who has ever been arrested for anything to do with paramilitary activity was instantly let out of jail. And they were told, if you associate with any paramilitary ever again, you will be sent back, and you will be
because that worked.
Yeah, no, a lot of them just went straight back at it. A
lot of them went to Scotland.
Yeah, a lot of them just got exiled, so they did.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong, you let out a lot of really horrible people. But how do you fix the bad blood? You can't, like, these people are related to people, and you can't just throw them all in jail and throw away the key, even if that would be the nice, or the fun way to do it, even if that would probably be what should be done. But you need to stop the violence somehow. So how do you stop the violence? You have a hard reset. And that's kind of
but there is no hard reset in Northern Ireland.
Yeah, there's not.
Because it's continuously, it's ongoing, even at the minute.
Yeah, at the minute.
Well, at the minute,
look, I don't want to talk about what's going on.
No, I don't care. At the minute, it's just drug thugs.
Yeah,
it's pure drug thugs. One drug gang competing with the other drug gang. I don't like you. You done something to me, and now we're petrol bombing everybody's houses. And now one of the main paramilitary groups put out a letter saying that if these 20 names aren't out of Northern Ireland by today, then we're going by today, then they're going to start killing family members. And it's in our district. So yay! The helicopter is constantly over our house at night.
It's kind of
and it's loud. They fly really low. So
that the searchlight out and all.
So tonight's going to be interesting because nobody has left. So here we go again, boys.
It's kind of mad. But look, I don't really know where to go with this, if I be honest with you. I suppose we were trying to talk about fancy racism, but now we just talked about actual racism. But I suppose
people say it's sectarianism, but it's close enough friggin' racism.
I would say
because they class Catholics and Protestants over here as races, not religion, because not one person goes to church on a Sunday. Not one person goes and practices their faith. I swear, not one of them goes and practices their faith.
There's very few actually practicing.
So to them, it's race. It's not religion. It's pure race.
It is race.
Catholic is a race, and Protestant is a race.
And that's just the way they view it. But again, to a certain degree...
And then any other races that are mixed in, well, God help them. Because if they don't get along with each other, they're not going to get along with any other race. I'm telling you.
I don't know. I think we get along pretty well with the Poles.
That's because they're white Europeans.
But they're still from the other side of Europe, though.
But they all think Catholic. They're all right. They're dead up. But they're Catholic, so if they live in the falls,
but they're Catholic, right. But they're not like Teagues, you see. They're not like Fenians, though. Like, trust me. Like, they're the Catholic, but they're like, it's like a different type of Catholic. It's not like the Irish type. You know what I mean? I don't know really where else to go with this. I feel like the only little way to approach this subject is by talking about our own little experiences.
So if you think within the fantasy world, whenever it comes to actual different races with completely different tribal ways of living between elves and dwarfs and orcs and everything, and like if they can't get along,
if actual human beings have a hard time,
there's no way. There's going to be racism in fantasy.
And is that a good thing? Is there a bad thing? I feel like you don't really have to bring up the subject.
But if you want to play it hyper realistic,
it's up to you.
It all depends on how the players want to play it, or how the DM wants to play it.
If it's something that you want to dig into in the world building, I don't feel like there's anything against the idea of the elves and the dwarves aren't really on Greek terms. They don't really trust each other.
Nobody likes the goblins.
Yeah, exactly. So in other words, Northern Ireland, you've got the green goblins versus the orange goblins.
Yeah. It's like that episode in The Simpsons where they have the orange leprechaun and the green leprechaun.
Yeah, something along those lines. But yeah, let us know, have you ever been able to approach this subject and do it well? Is it something that you even care that much about? I feel like it's brought up that much, and I don't know if it's always beat or not, whether or not people want to talk about it or not.
And if you want a full video on Northern Irish history,
do you want to? We might do something like that.
We can do that
at some point. Maybe we can just
if you want it, we can just talk about
Northern Ireland in general.
Because it's a strange little country of ours.
It is. It's really unusual,
and nobody else gets it.
Yeah, it's a very different world. Whenever we had a few of the boys over from England,
and it's the fact that whenever you got the Catholics and the Protestant, and then it's they have the Palestine flag and stuff, and
the Israel flag.
God, it's we stand with Palestine. No, we stand with Israel. It's we're the same. We're going through the same.
When did that start? That started 5 years ago.
I know.
Oh my god, it's so embarrassing. It's actually beyond embarrassing. You see all these Union Jacks with Israeli Star David, and then anywhere you go with
sure, we had a math flags. Teacher.
Oh yeah, one of our math teachers.
We had a math teacher, and he was
hyper proud.
He
had what did he?
He had Forgotten Ulster on his arm.
Yeah,
Forgotten Ulster with a red hand of Ulster. Forgotten Ulster on his arm, and then he wore a Star David.
Yeah.
And then above his door said Shalom. In an integrated school. It was really hot one summer, and he had his top button and his shirt open and his sleeves and all rolled up because it was really warm in class. And my mate Matthew said, "Sir, what's that on your arm?" And he goes, nothing, absolutely nothing.
Yeah, but no, you know what? If you're really interested in fantasy genocide, or not
Fantasy genocide!
Well, fantasy in general. You know what's a great one? Look at like the Balkans in the 90s. Look at Rwandan genocide. Look at the Armenians. Look at the Jews. Look at anything like any point throughout human history where
people have been
persecuted for whatever reasons. Why not look at that and use it as like a historical backdrop? Maybe.
Yeah.
I feel like history is great in some regards where I feel like it's hard to do.
You can draw a lot of inspiration from history for your settings.
Yeah.
And things like that. But once again, it all depends on how you want to play it.
Yeah, exactly. If you just want to shitpost, you shitpost. If you want to play a racist paladin, who cares? For the love of God. You know what I mean?
Just don't play a racist paladin in real life.
Yeah, just...
just try and avoid that.
Just keep that to the online, okay, man? Just be... If you really want to be racist, be like, not racist. I don't know. Let's just finish up. We've probably gotten enough bother over this video.
Know.
I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.